Anything going on? Are we good here?
Anything new on Sam Bennett?
Yeah, well, he'll take the full morning skate tomorrow, so he's closer. It's yeah, we'll know tomorrow after the skate.
Paul, Chuck, you were saying maybe one of the biggest differences he's seen in Barkey from when he got here to now is Barkey's actually talking more. He's more of a vocal guy than he used to be. Obviously, he's still not the loudest guy, but definitely speaking more, getting the guys fired up, pointing out things on the ice. Just have you noticed that about him? Maybe when you're on the bench, just him talking more, dictating a little bit.
I've seen him interact with the players more, and I think he's really comfortable with his teammates. I think he's also a private man, but I think he's very comfortable with his teammates. I think it's one of the things that Vlad Tarasenko's kind of brought. He's a hockey talker. He's constantly, right, when they play together, they're all over it. It's really good for engagement. What happens in the room, I can't tell you. I feel unease about Sasha Barkov. Part of it is him understanding his game and what he needs to do to be an inspirational leader for us in terms of through his play. I thought that he did that last year for us, and some of it just learning. He's these guys that are captains, that are leaders. They constantly have to learn to add things, and I think he's just maturing into that captain where he can do more than just be an inspirational on-ice guy. He can reach out to people.
Yeah. That first period, I mean, they were just, especially him, just flying. How much did they kind of keep things? Because you guys seemed a little discombobulated there in the first, but that first line really.
I would agree that they were really good. I also thought they were really good last game. I don't think it was just a one-nighter, and I think that they scored 2 there in Tampa Bay. And won us a game. Like they've been quietly really good. And I don't necessarily. I would agree that they have been the consistent group. That'll be the challenge, right? That's one of the challenges of Sam Bennett coming in when you have a fourth line that's playing as well as what do you got to do? But we're not going to keep Sam Bennett out of the lineup.
Right.
But it is tough because there's some chemistry there, and they've been good.
How good is that problem?
Yeah, better, right? Than we were 6 lines deep by the end of it last year, and we've got a little more depth, and that's been good. But that's on the players. Like Steve Lorenz fought hard this year to kind of get himself not out of the doghouse. He was in the abyss, whatever number of games he didn't play, and I had guys ahead of him, so good for him.
How much does all this? Machinations really matter. Like you made adjustments from 1 to 2. That Jim's gonna get questions about who's gonna start in goal. They're gonna have to make adjustments now. How important is it to capitalize when one team has to make that?
Adjustments are a funny thing, right? Like I don't think it matters. I truly don't. Like you make an adjustment in a game and things get better. Well, why in the hell didn't you do it before the game? Like, if you're that smart. It's all player performance. You know, you started the right goalie. Why? Because the guy stood on his head. Right? I flipped a coin. I played Andrei Pavlik in Dallas one night, and I think I got roasted something awful for starting him, right? They were not happy with me at all. And he stood on his head, right? Like it was a freak show. One of the most amazing goalie performances. I don't know if they had 50 shots, but they had 50 chances. And they're like, how did you know? Like, I don't, right? You get a set of circumstances, a criteria, you make a decision. You're right or wrong solely based on the player's performance. So we make almost all the adjustment. That's not true. 80% of the adjustments you make are back to form. They're not at changes. While they change this, you don't change. You just get better at something that you should be better at, right? That's how I feel.
And speaking of goalies, is there anything you guys do, to determine, whether they start Olmark or Swayman? Is there any difference? Just kind of play your own game?
Yeah, we do a goalie pre-scout on both guys at the start of the series, and then we don't really talk about it after that. They're all really good. There's 8 teams left. They're all good.
I remember Rod Brindamore saying, just on a lot of what you were talking about, that he thought coaching was overrated.
Yes. I saw the video of that, which is funny because then he came on our staff and we worked together. Go ahead, finish your question.
No, but he was a coach at the time. But he's like saying that, sometimes it's just, we do what we do, but it really does come down to the players.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year.
We put a tremendous amount of time and we watched a ton of video, and I think every inch of that matters. I think it truly matters. But at the end of the day, the right and the wrong and the wins and the losses of the players. And so you always think that you can do better. So the coach has an important role. But, I didn't shoot the puck. Gustav Forsling hammered that thing. There's no coaching involved in that. So the players at the end are always the most important thing.
15 shots on goal allowed, something like that, 14 or 15.
Yeah.
15, right? I mean, that's a franchise record for playoffs, but how do you, if you're a goalie, I know you're not. But
It was a hard game.
He just sat there watching.
So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I think four or five of the games that Sergei's played here have been incredibly hard to play. The first three first periods of that Tampa Bay series, there was no work. But it's still Tampa Bay. So when you think about the end, the one goal they scored off the face-off, they're 3 point-blank shots right at him and they score. He'd been sitting for 8 minutes on that. So that's a veteran goalie's ability. The breakaway at the end of the game. Right? He sits cold for a long time and he gets that. He's been good. I don't think the games have been easy for him at all. And that, God, those Tampa guys got some skill on them. These guys got some skill on them. We go stretches where neither team, because both of Boston and our team, we can play defense. We can defend hard. So, and they can too. So there's stretches where nothing happens for the goalie, and then boom, you've got Pasternak down the pipe, or you've got Tkachuk down the pipe. Like it's hard. I don't know why you let your kid play goal. It's crazy.
When did you, I don't expect an exact date, it's kind of a stupid way to ask a question. As a coach, you got to figure out somewhere along the way that it's not about you. Like you said, it's player performance.
Yeah.
And the fact that you hung around for 2,000 games suggests that you figured out somewhere along the way that it's not about you. How important is that for you? I know Pete thinks that Rod's. I mean, how difficult is that for a coach to accept, and how important is it to accept too?
Well, I don't know. I think there's a real value. There are coaches that have never lost a game. There are. It's an awesome thing to watch. I got a guy. It was never ever made a mistake or lost a game. And I always think that must be a beautiful way to go through life. You sleep great every night. I don't know. Go ask them. I was always started at the opposite end of the spectrum. If you lose a game, you think, okay, I missed something. Which isn't a very smart way to do it either. That can mess with your head over 30 years. Like you got to. So all I would say is that I'm probably more attuned to that now than ever, because when I walk in to this organization, I realize there's just like a lot of way smarter guys than I am in what they do. And I got a small piece here that I got to take care of, and I've got some experience doing that. But after that, I don't get involved in anybody else's, and also I'm not taking credit for our strength and conditioning guy. Like I don't do that. I'm not standing in front saying, "Hey, boy, was I really good on our PK tonight." I had nothing to do with that. So I got a job to do. It's a small piece. Try to do it hard and do it well.
Can you tell, I mean, maybe he's like this every game, but when Matthew Tkachuk, the first shift, 17 seconds in, he's in front of the goalie and suddenly his helmet is off and there's a penalty, is that, that's going to be one of these nights for him where he's really going to be putting his nose in everywhere?
Yeah. I didn't feel at the start of the game that's what that was. Like, I think right around just after Christmas last year, like if you just look at the stats on his penalties, he was a high minute guy. And then after that, the only games that were high minutes is when his brother came to town, or we went to visit his brother, and then they each had 17 minutes guaranteed. And it was we've seen the family footage. We have grandma gets upset, but he actually doesn't take a lot of penalties anymore. Like he's out of the box, and I think the true statement of that game is the hit he took from Marchand and got back up. Like he's just a gamer. Like he's just in on everything, right? But he's not starting fires out there, I don't think. He was a bit of an arsonist at the start of last year, and then that stopped. Like he's not afraid to go to the net, and I think his reputation is far stronger than the play. There's lots of guys on the ice out there that are more agitators than he is now.
He said his dad and his brother don't think he can fight. What do you think of the performance?
Yeah, I mean, can you, well, I don't know, when you just said that to me, like what happened in the backyard at that house, right, at 13, 14? Right, there must have been some dandies. Oh, man.
The cutaway of the dad, he's just sitting there like, yeah, and like, no big deal.
He was a force. Like, that man is a powerful, oh, man, he could fight. Yeah, that'd be something.